UFOs, Tesla, Delonge, ETs, covert operations. Nikola Tesla, Brooklyn Eagle, 10th of July 1931, said, "I have harnessed the cosmic rays and caused them to operate a motive device." This is a what-if story, but it's also based on decades of experience analyzing propaganda and cover stories. It's based on the knowledge that military and intelligence operatives are trained to lie, and they like to lie, and they get up in the morning licking their chops because they know they're going to lie during another day in paradise. Is Tesla and his breakthrough science the hidden element in UFO research? Is he being buried under a welter of cover stories? In any event, cover stories are being floated in great numbers. Nikola Tesla and other outlier scientists were researching anti-gravity in the 20th century. Upon his death, Tesla's research papers were stolen by the government and they were never released. What has the U.S. government been doing at secret research facilities since World War II, such as the famed Lockheed Skunk Works in Palmdale, California, and whose technology have they been using? Have they been advancing Tesla's and other outlier scientists' work? They would certainly try. Would this U.S. research be pointed towards building military craft capable of extraordinary speeds and maneuverability? Certainly. Could this technology at the root have other applications, such as new modes of energy production that would eliminate the need for an oil economy? Possibly. That would be a key reason for secrecy, absolute secrecy. If secrecy was the goal, extensive cover stories would have been developed and pushed to this day. And what better way to disseminate those stories than through government insiders who feed information to UFO spokespeople? The UFOs are ET alien, quote unquote. I'm not saying this notion must be entirely false. I'm saying it can be used to bury the root truth. If, say, secret technological advances from science and scientists here on Earth are in the areas of energy, transportation, and space travel, would they cause a revolution in society because a vast abundance of energy would be available for all? How would this fact be managed by oligarchs who rule through scarcity and war and destruction? 1. Float the story that advanced technology comes from ETs. 2. Wrap the ET story up in speculative fairy tale mythologies, thus creating an occasion for scorn and mockery. 3. Via guilt by association, reject the entire idea that advanced secret technology exists because it is married to comic book tales of ETs. Note, the above step operation works whether or not ETs exist and have visited Earth. Let's read this now. Quote, "For example, a new concept of spacecraft and aerospace flight arises from the possibility of electromagnetic control of the gravitational mass. The novel spacecraft called gravitational spacecraft possibly will change the paradigm of spaceflight and transportation in general. Here, its operation principles and flight possibilities will be described. Also, it will be shown that other devices based on gravity control, such as the gravitational motor and quantum transceivers, can be used in the spacecraft, respectively, for energy generation and telecommunications." End quote. This is from the Gravitational Spacecraft Full Paper, Fran de Aquino, Maranhão State University, Brazil, December 3rd, 2013, from the Electric Spacecraft Journal 27. I'm not asserting these statements are true. I'm merely illustrating one of the hundreds of articles and papers that have appeared on the subject of advanced technologies outside the realm of conventional science. Since the beginning of the 20th century, and even earlier, researchers have been studying and writing about such technologies. It would be a mistake to think that military tech centers have blithely ignored this body of literature. As they deride it, they examine it, and they use what they can. In secret, of course. In secret because they want to protect what they learned from their military enemies. It's also because technology which could crack too many barriers and overturn the control society must be kept in darkness. Tesla, 1892, quote, "Throughout space there is energy. Is this energy static or kinetic? If static, our hopes are in vain. If kinetic, and this we know it is for certain, then it is a mere question of time when man will succeed in attaching their machinery to the very wheelwork of nature." End quote. Suppose there are two entire bodies of scientific research. The one we know about, which is displayed in published studies, media articles, and press releases from governments and corporations, and a second body which is separate and secret and more advanced, conducted in government and corporate facilities shielded from view. This will create a significant problem. How is the second body protected and denied? That problem falls into the lap of disinformation specialists. A long-range program must be developed, and it must contain many vectors. Unidentified flying objects exist, UFOs that is. Whatever their origin or origins, they appear in the skies. They execute maneuvers at speeds that are totally impossible. Their actions prove that advanced technology does exist. Oops. So, 1, the UFOs need to be explained, and 2, they provide an occasion for disinformation. Who will present that official disinfo? Why, officials, of course. Where will they come from? They'll come from the intelligence establishment, the military establishment, because those departments and people, quote, have been investigating the aerial phenomena, end quote. Over the years, these high-level officials will, while remaining in the shadows, pass along secrets, quote unquote, to independent UFO researchers. The names of these military intelligence officials will occasionally surface. Rumors about them will abound. Every tidbit they offer to UFO researchers will be accepted and adored like a superior Christmas gift under the tree. In no case will the leaker say, quote, "We've developed astounding technology based on the work of Earth scientists, and we're keeping this tech secret," end quote. Of all the leaks, they won't be one of them. That won't be one of them. Instead, the implication will be, "We here on Earth could not have developed such engineering capability. Out of the question." Finally, in 2017, a whole group of elite ex-intelligence and military officials will step forward together as a team, quote unquote, connected to a fledgling academy in the private sector. Its spokesman will be Tom DeLonge, a rock musician. These ex-officials will confirm that remarkable UFOs do exist, and the technology they exhibit surpasses anything known about on Earth. Again, the engineering, quote, could not have been developed by and from Earth scientists working in secret, end quote. What does exist is a highly exotic program to analyze off-planet UFOs. Over time, this latter session will be met with scorn, and mainstream journalists will wonder aloud about the academy, the rock musician, and the bizarre gathering of ex-government officials around the musician. Mainstream reporters will, as Daniel List, the independent dark journalist E.T. has already pointed out, realize how strange it is, for example, that, quote, recovered materials from UFOs, end quote, are being kept in a Las Vegas warehouse under the control of billionaire Robert Bigelow instead of at nearby Area 51 labs. Other anomalies will surface. The whole UFO disclosure episode will take in a woo-woo quality. It's called Blow Cover as Cover. You admit secrets, thus appearing to blow your cover, but at the same time you're hiding the deeper truth. Quote, "Look, boys, we need to explain these UFOs whizzing around. We need to exclude ourselves as the primary secret engineers of these craft. So we paint ourselves as a somewhat befuddled and amazed recipients of technology from ET civilizations. That's what we are. We're trying to figure out what we've been handed on a silver platter. We don't know what we're doing. We're children playing with adult machines. We're, in a sense, victims, you see? This plays to the whole op about humans as weak, incapable, and certainly unable to achieve genuine heroic feats. Now, we're not going to admit to the ET scenario out in the open. No, officially, we don't know anything about that. But we are going to give the green light to a few of our own guys to step forward and push the ET story. They'll do it in a way that avoids any kind of blame directed at them or at us. They'll just throw up their hands and say the technology behind these UFOs is light years beyond anything that exists on Earth. They'll say the universe is so big there must be other life out there. They'll leave the rest to the imagination. And then maybe, just maybe, they'll say, yes, these flying craft are ET, as if they can't hold back the truth any longer, as if they've been painted into a corner and have to confess. At that point, the press will go after them. The press will call them fabulists and fakers and wild exaggerators. And once again, we've done this before, the house of cards will fall apart. The press and the government and the public will shake their heads and move away from the UFO story and advance secret technology to other things, end quote. Consider this recent statement Tom DeLonge made about his new academy. Quote, "Hello, my name is Tom DeLonge from the Blink 182. I have brought together an elite team from CIA, DOD, and the former director of advanced programs at Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. We are aiming to build this electromagnetic vehicle to travel instantaneously through space, air, and water by engineering the fabric of space-time. Our company is called To the Stars, and you can invest in our plan to revolutionize the world with technology that can change life as we know it," end quote. How likely is it that these elite team members have gathered around DeLonge with confidence that he is the right person to disclose the truth about UFOs? They certainly knew his views before they joined up. Why did they pick him, though? What are these Vegas odds that the venture is succeeding with the press and public? Isn't it likely the operation was put together in order to fail? In order to bring a new level of scoring down on the heads of UFO disclosures in general? I'll give you an analogy. Suppose you were an important mainstream vaccine researcher, and after long and hard reflection, you decided you were going to step forward and blow the whistle on the enormous dangers of vaccination. You noticed there is a civilian out there who is making quite a stir about the issue. He too is against vaccination because he says human disease is really being caused by viruses from outer space, and no vaccines can protect the human family against that threat. Would you sign on with him? Would you allow him in front of the vaccine issue and represent you? On the other hand, if you were that vaccine researcher and you were sent out on purpose to present anti-vaccine views with the express purpose of making those views appear ridiculous, and you could eventually walk away and obtain a plum job in the private sector or win a series of grants, and everyone would forget about your brief misadventure in the anti-vaccine movement, you would certainly seek out this person who talks endlessly about viruses from outer space, and you would make a temporary deal. You would for a short time be the leaker. As a working disinformation pro, you would take one for the team, the real team, the medical cartel. UFOs exist. They are real. They exhibit very advanced technology. They're designed to work. But the elite propaganda about them is designed to fall. This is by John Rappaport of No More Fake News, and it's on The Daily Sheeple.